Welcome to The Explainer. So if you're a software developer feeling the pressure of recent industry shifts, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we aren't just looking at the tech layoff crisis, we're mapping out a highly actionable survival guide. We're going to navigate this chaotic landscape together and show you how to actually thrive by adopting a completely new engineering playbook.
Okay, let's dive right into this. 15%. That is the massive layoff rate we've seen in the tech sector just in the first quarter of 2026 alone. This isn't just a slight market correction, It is literally one of the highest numbers of tech professionals looking for opportunities in recent history. It's a stark reality for sure, but understanding the sheer magnitude of this shift is our very first step toward conquering it.
And to put a face to that 15%, we are talking about some of the absolute biggest giants in the industry making drastic cuts. Cloudflare laid off 20% of its workforce. Square cut 10%. And the list just goes on. Amazon, Meta, Coinbase, Snapchat, Bird. The data shows that the first 4 months of 2026 have been significantly more painful for layoffs than the early months of 2025. It's urgent. It means the traditional software developer path is shifting right beneath our feet.
But don't worry, here is our roadmap out of the crisis. We'll quickly cover 1. The tech layoff crisis, 2. The rise of the FND, 3. The new engineering skill set, 4. The Rust security advantage, and finally, 5. Bypassing standard hiring hurdles. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the tech layoff crisis, and exactly why these traditional roles are shrinking so fast.
So, what's actually going on? Well, the core of the issue is that AI coding assistants are rapidly taking over baseline, traditional programming tasks. We're talking about highly capable agents like Codex, Claude, Devin, and Cursor. These tools are handling the fundamental coding tasks that used to require massive teams of junior and mid-level developers. Because AI is effectively managing the basic building blocks of software, developers absolutely must adapt their skills to find new opportunities.
Moving on to Section 2, the rise of the FDE, which is basically your new magic weapon.
Let's see how this builds. The origin of this role actually traces back to Palantir, who coined the term Forward Deployed Engineer, or FDE, and used this exact model to drive a staggering 1,000x growth. Then came the AI shift. Giants like OpenAI and Anthropic realized they desperately needed to capture the enterprise market, places like finance and healthcare, so they hired hundreds of FDEs to bridge the gap between their AI and the customer. And the current wave? Google Cloud CEO just announced they're aggressively hiring for FDE roles. This isn't just some niche trend. It's a new industry standard that can completely help software developers avoid the layoff cycle.
Section 3, the new engineering skill set. We're moving way beyond just coding here.
The daily schedule of an FDE is kind of surprising. Only 25% of the job is actual coding, mostly because AI agents are handling that heavy lifting now. A massive 50% of your time is actually spent on integration and plumbing. Figuring out how to seamlessly connect the AI product to the customer's existing systems. The remaining 25%? That's meetings, customer handholding, and administration. You're essentially acting as a contractor who codes directly at the customer's office.
There is a massive mindset shift required to pull this off. No is not an option. As an FDE, you've got to operate with a founder's mindset. When a customer asks for something, you don't just sit around and wait for a product spec from a manager. You cannot just say no. This fundamentally shifts the job from pure engineering to high-agency negotiation.
Let's break down exactly what that high-agency work entails. First, you have to negotiate. If a customer thinks a $1,000 price point is too expensive, you might instantly offer the first month for $500 or even give them the first 2 months completely free, which, by the way, is exactly what Codex is doing for enterprise clients right now. You're providing white-glove customer service, you're fine-tuning products for highly specific niche markets, like formatting AI outputs to perfectly match the rigorous requirements of Wall Street finance reports. And finally, you're taking all these critical, real-world field insights and feeding them directly back into your company's product roadmap. You're part engineer, part sales, and part product manager. You own the whole shebang. All right, Section 4, the Rust security advantage. Let's dig into the technical toolkit. By default, most AI coding agents are trained to write code in Next.js and push it to platforms like Vercel or Cloudflare. But this creates a pretty big problem: vendor lock-in. If you write in Next.js, it's blazing fast on Vercel, but not necessarily if you deploy directly to AWS. Furthermore, these platforms face downtime. Vercel went down for several hours just this year, and there's a growing wave of dangerous security vulnerabilities in these default stacks. The FDA advantage? Rust. Companies are actively rewriting their code in Rust to escape these very issues. Rust provides unparalleled performance, speed, and most importantly, total freedom from that vendor lock-in. Because the new wave of security vulnerabilities is predicted to be incredibly dangerous, companies are rushing to secure their infrastructure. Adding Rust proficiency to your skill set makes you an indispensable asset as companies rewrite their core systems. As our source material perfectly puts it, Rust could actually bust the layoff cycle for you. It is absolutely the technical wave you want to catch to secure your next role in the industry.
And finally, Section 5, bypassing standard hiring hurdles. Let's talk about how to land an FDE job right now.
The hiring landscape at a company like Google has changed drastically. The old, notoriously grueling process, 4 to 6 rigorous, stressful rounds of interviews, is just gone for this role. The new Google FDE hiring process is incredibly streamlined. Just 2 days, 2 interviews. It consists of 1 shortened leak code technical round and 1 behavioral round. It is significantly faster and way more direct than it used to be.
So the crucial point here is choosing exactly where to apply. Google hires FDEs directly as full employees, meaning you get issued core company stock. On the other hand, standalone AI companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are often outsourcing their FDE roles to third-party shell companies. If you're an outsourced FTE, you might entirely miss out on massive company stock growth. And that's a huge deal when you consider a company like Anthropic went from a few billion to nearly $1 trillion valuation in just a couple of years. Targeting a direct hire role at Google Cloud offers a massive compensation advantage.
So here is your exact actionable playbook to bypass standard hiring hurdles. Step 1. Vigilantly watch for online FDE job positions specifically from Google Cloud. Step 2. Whatever you do, do not just submit a resume into the void. Direct message the person who actually posted the job. Step 3. Find and email the entire team, because this role requires a high-agency founder's mindset, demonstrating that agency by bypassing the standard queue and directly messaging decision-makers actually proves you're the right fit for the job. Especially if you're an early career graduate, embrace the ambiguity and go directly to the source.
The tech landscape is shifting faster than ever right now. The forward deployed engineer is the future, blending technical chops with high-agency integration. The only question left is, will you be the developer replaced by AI or the engineer deploying it? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I really can't wait to see how you conquer the AI disruption.